ugly, short, painted like a whore. These aren't just words that people say about your mother. Unfortunately, it's what they say about this, the child from the Mandalorian. Welcome to this week's Mini Monuments review with myself here, X from Sacred 8 Studios, Tattoos, Comics, Collectibles. Let's get right in. Hey there, Sacred Society. Welcome for another episode of Mini Monuments with myself here, X. If you are brand new to this channel, please be sure to go down to the subscribe and bell notification button down below and leave us a like if you dig it. Or if you don't, do it anyway. Be sure to keep up to date with all things Sacred 8 because we're not your father, but we are the only ones who will truly hug you and love you. So what is the problem with Legacy Effects and Sideshow Collectibles 1-to-1 scale Baby Yoda? Go ahead, Star Wars, get angry. The child. What really is the issue here? The production photo that was given to us at the beginning of the year, when times were much better and simpler, did not actually reflect what we got. This was the production photo that we received from said parties at the beginning of the year. And this is what we got. So what's the issue? Well, first and foremost, let's just get everything out of the way for anyone that doesn't really understand or isn't a heavy collector like some of you in the BST groups or other people that follow other channels that are serious collectors. They had somebody who worked for the studio that created this little mofo and actually did art on a single statue. It got so popular, so busy when the actual thing went up for pre-order that Sideshow Collectibles crashed. So what does that tell us? That tells us that there is a huge amount of these that were pre-ordered and are still available for order months later. A production quality versus pre-production is definitely not always going to be the same, but they got a real true artist to go onto the original child versus this one. And it kind of shows. Let's talk about the three most important things we keep hearing for everybody. 1, paint. The paint from him exactly matches like a sea foam green, and it looks very plastic versus the other one in pre-production that had a little bit more undertone to it and wasn't so opaque when we look at our color palette. The rouge and pink that is in the cheeks as well as the ears, from a well-lit above standpoint, it doesn't go too heavy. Anything from eye level under tends to look really heavy and pink. Almost like he's going out for Moulin Rouge. A lot of people, including myself and some others here at the studio, know how to work with airbrushes and also know how to work with color palettes very well. So for us, it's not really that much of a deal if we wanted to alter our own. But for you, if you don't do that, that could be a big draw back. 2 is also the amount of paint that are in the folds, whether it be underneath the behind the eyelids, behind the nose, going down, receding in the cheeks. What's the problem? It's not there. It's too flat. I think they intended it for the lighting to actually do most of the work. And although he doesn't have too much in the show, it does add a tremendous amount of depth that you do not see here. From there, you look at pretty much the jacket. The jacket itself is very, very nice. It is super thick. It's actually nicer than most of the jackets I have, and I live near a very cold place. It is very well knit together. It has wires inside to help to make it more opposable for you and whatever you want to do with it. But to be honest, the bottom down here should have been frayed with a little bit more of like a wire brush and some shoe polish just to give it a little bit more wear. But all in all, it's not bad. The ball that he holds in his hand actually is pretty light. It's made of almost a just simple plastic that goes inside. The base, the top feels a little bit soft and plasticky, but the rest of it, as far as the sides and the bottom of it as well, where the graphic is, which is the Mandalorian when he first meets the child, is very sturdy, and it's actually quite nice. The eyes look like they're made of either heavy epoxy resin or glass, and they're actually done very well. The hair on top of it is a very nice touch. It's very subtle, just gives it a little bit more personality. And it's a cute statue. But All in all, is it worth it? Should you hold on to your pre-order? Should you cancel it? Should you even order the damn thing? We here at Sacred 8 feel that yes, you should. If you're a massive Star Wars fan in general, if you truly, truly are a Star Wars fan, I think you would dig it. I've seen some of the older Star Wars stuff like Vader, premium format figures, legendary scale figures, the whole shebang, and they've had just as bad production quality when it comes to the airbrushing or the color palettes. But then again, you find other, things that look very nice. I think for someone like myself who's not as heavy of a Star Wars fan, but I do admire the lore and I do admire the show The Mandalorian, it's a great piece. It fits perfectly inside a bookcase. It fits perfectly inside all your collectibles. And for the price, especially with how expensive statues have gotten these days, from XM Studios to Prime One, Sideshow Collectibles, I mean, everything and beyond, you are looking at this, and for the price point, it is phenomenal. The detail is there. But does a lower price now mean lower quality? Honestly, I think that speaking with a few people, shout out to Darth Hatham, one of our buddies. Speaking to a few people about this, it really does boil down to, I think batches were made and they just tweaked every single batch, because everyone that we've seen that has received it from other shops that we're friends with to other collectors out in the scene seem to be showing us different things that even with good photography and good lighting, whether it be studio or home or outside, it just they all look a little bit different. All in all, we give it about an 8 out of 10 just because of the presence of how actually cute the damn thing is. It is well built, it is sturdy, and from the cloth all the way down to his sculpt and how actually heavy and full he feels, it's worth it. It totally is worth it. For anyone that feels that they shouldn't actually have to buy it, or they feel that they need to cancel the pre-order, we totally understand where you're coming from. You were promised something, it didn't get there. For anyone that's on the fence, I would say go for it. It is a phenomenal piece for you to have for your own collection. So, without further ado, let's get some great look-up shots of this thing. Go. There you have it, y'all. That is the child from the Mandalorian TV series on Disney Plus. What do you think about it? Did you guys like the paint job? Do you guys like the detail? Do you feel it could have been better or worse? Do you feel that most of the statues that are coming out, or figures, 6-scale figures, even books, even graded books, do you feel that the stuff that comes out when it reaches this big of a mass actually goes down in quality? And is that a bad thing in the sense of it getting so popular, or do you think it's a good thing so more people can influence what we can collect in the future and get some pretty cool offshoots like the new Ahsoka stuff? Leave a comment below and let us know. For anyone that's part of the Sacred 8, thank you for joining us, and for anyone else that has never been with us, thank you for joining us. Sacred 8 Studios, tattoos, comics, collectibles, because whether it's ink on the page or ink in your skin, we've got you covered.